Ladies and gentlemen, today I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself a simple question. Why do we spend our lives running after success, running after love, running after validation, running after everything that we believe will finally make us whole? But the truth Alan Watts revealed is powerful. The more you chase, the further things move away. The more you force, the tighter everything resists. The more you try to control life, the more chaotic it becomes. Because chasing comes from fear of losing, fear of not being enough, fear of missing out. And fear never creates the life you want. It only creates more fear. Instead, Watts teaches a different way, a softer way, a wiser way. Don't chase, attract. Because what is meant for you will flow toward you when you are aligned with it. Attraction begins with inner stillness. When you relax, when you trust, when you let go of desperation, something magical happens. The universe responds. You become a magnet instead of a pursuer. You become a creator, not a beggar. You become someone who pulls reality toward you by the strength of your energy, not by the force of your effort. Think of it this way. A flower never chases the bees. It simply blooms. A river never chases the ocean. It simply flows. And life never chases you. It unfolds exactly where you stand. You attract the life you want by becoming the person who belongs in that life. You attract love by loving yourself first. You attract peace when you stop fighting everything inside you. You attract success when you stop forcing outcomes and start following your true path. You attract opportunities when you allow your energy to rise higher than your doubts. When you stop chasing, you become present, truly present. And in that presence, you unlock your greatest power, alignment. The moment you align your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions with what you desire, the universe synchronizes with you. Doors open. People appear, ideas arrive, paths unfold, not because you hunted them down, but because you finally became ready for them. The universe is not impressed by how fast you run. It responds to who you are. So shift your focus from chasing what you want to becoming the version of you that naturally receives it. If you want abundance, think abundantly. If you want love, radiate love. If you want success, embody confidence. If you want peace, carry peace inside you. Remember this. Everything you want is already seeking you. But it cannot find you if you are running in the opposite direction. Stop chasing. Slow down. Trust the timing. Raise your vibration and watch how everything begins to come to you effortlessly, not by force, but by flow. You are not here to struggle your way into a life of meaning. You are here to become the meaning that life flows toward. Attract what you desire by becoming who you truly are, and when you do, everything you seek will naturally seek you back. Chasing often begins from a place of fear, even when we don't recognize it. Fear of losing something, fear of falling behind, fear of not measuring up, or fear that we are not enough as we are. When we chase, we usually do it because we believe that what we want is outside of us and far away, and we assume we must run after it before someone else takes it. This creates tension inside the mind and pressure inside the body. It makes our thoughts restless and our actions desperate. Instead of allowing life to unfold, we try to force it into a shape we believe is right, even if that shape is not meant for us. Attraction works differently. It begins from inner steadiness and trust. It starts when we understand that life responds best to clarity, calm, and aligned intention. When you attract, you do not push against the current of life, but move with it. You understand that what belongs to you can arrive without strain, because it is drawn to your energy rather than your effort. Attraction comes from alignment. Alignment of your desires with your beliefs with your emotions, and your emotions with your actions. When these inner aspects match, you naturally become a magnet to experiences that reflect your inner state. Fear disrupts this alignment. It creates doubt, self-criticism, and anxiety, which send a signal of resistance rather than openness. Attraction is strongest when you act from confidence rather than scarcity, assurance rather than panic, and openness rather than attachment. When you let go of fear, you shift from needing something to choosing something. You move from chasing possibilities to welcoming them. This also creates space inside you, space for inspiration, space for new ideas, space for better opportunities to enter. Chasing closes space because it fills life with frantic motion and emotional clutter. Attraction opens space because it is rooted in patience and self-trust. It is important to understand that attraction does not mean doing nothing. It means doing what aligns with your best self, not what comes from desperation. You act, but not out of fear. You pursue goals, but not by pushing against yourself. You move forward, but with clarity rather than anxiety. When you adopt this approach, life becomes more responsive. People sense your confidence. Opportunities sense your readiness. Possibilities sense your stability. The world mirrors the energy you radiate. And because your inner world is calmer and clearer, the outer world begins to reflect that same order. This is why the idea of attracting instead of chasing is so powerful. It transforms your internal state first, which naturally transforms what you experience. What you want begins to come toward you not because you chased it, but because you became someone who no longer needed to chase. Letting go of control is often misunderstood as giving up, but it is actually one of the most powerful states a person can step into. When you stop trying to force outcomes, you allow life to take its natural path toward you instead of pushing against the flow. Many people struggle because they believe everything must happen through pressure, struggle, and constant effort, but this only creates resistance. Imagine holding sand tightly in your fist. The harder you squeeze, the more it slips away. Life responds in the same way. When you chase too aggressively, when you cling too tightly, when you try to manipulate every detail, what you want begins to slip further out of reach. Letting go of control creates a gentle openness that invites possibilities to move toward you on their own. It gives space for situations to unfold without being suffocated by your expectations. In this space, things you never planned or predicted can arise, sometimes more perfectly aligned than anything you could have created through force. When you relax, you create trust, and trust is an energy that the universe responds to. Without trust, desperation takes over, and desperation sends a signal of lack, pushing away the very outcomes you desire. By releasing the need to control, you allow life to guide you rather than trying to bend it to your will. This naturally places you in a state of flow where the right people, opportunities, and events start appearing with less effort. Effort is still required, but it becomes inspired effort, not forced effort. You no longer act out of fear or urgency. You act from clarity and intuition, which produces far better results. When you stop chasing and instead allow yourself to flow, you tune into the rhythm of life rather than fighting against it. In this rhythm, timing becomes your ally instead of your enemy. You start noticing signs, patterns, and openings that were previously invisible when your mind was cluttered with pressure. Things begin to line up. Conversations lead somewhere meaningful. Small decisions open big doors. You are guided instead of stressed. Letting go does not mean letting everything happen randomly. It means releasing your tight grip on how things should unfold and allowing them to unfold in the way that serves your higher growth. It means trusting that you don't need to control every moment to create a meaningful life. When you loosen that grip, life becomes more responsive. Instead of dragging you, it begins to collaborate with you. The energy you project becomes calm rather than chaotic, confident rather than fearful, open rather than restricted. And that shift changes the way the world interacts with you. You attract more support, more opportunities, and more alignment because you are no longer blocking the flow with your desire to control everything. This is the beauty of releasing control. You gain more by trying less. You receive more by easing up. You allow life to bring you what is yours in a way far more natural and effortless than anything you could force into existence. You attract what you want by transforming yourself into the kind of person who naturally belongs in the reality you desire. This idea is simple yet incredibly powerful. Most people believe attraction is about wishing, hoping, or waiting for luck. But true attraction begins inside you long before anything changes outside. The experiences you pull toward your life are reflections of who you are internally. Your beliefs, your habits, your self-image, your emotional patterns, and the energy you carry throughout your day. When these inner aspects align with the kind of life you want, you naturally draw it in without chasing or forcing. This is because the world responds to your state of being long before it responds to your words or your actions. If you want love, you must first embody love. If you want confidence, you must practice confidence internally before expecting the world to treat you as someone strong. If you want abundance, you must cultivate a mindset that feels worthy of receiving abundance, rather than feeling lacking, afraid, or inferior. Many people try to attract things they are not yet aligned with. They want success but carry a mindset of doubt. They want respect but carry insecurity. They want peace but live in inner chaos. This imbalance pushes away the very outcomes they crave because the world mirrors what you truly feel, not what you wish for. Becoming the person who belongs in the life you desire means shaping your thoughts, emotions, choices, and routines to match the level of the reality you are calling in. When you do this, the outer world eventually adjusts to reflect your inner evolution. Attraction is not about pretending. It is about elevating yourself until what you want feels natural instead of distant. You choose habits that support your growth. You remove patterns that keep you small. You speak to yourself with encouragement rather than criticism. You act in ways that strengthen your identity rather than weaken your potential. Bit by bit, you shift into a version of yourself that carries certainty rather than confusion, stability rather than fear, direction rather than aimlessness. As this change unfolds within you, your energy alters, and energy is the foundation of attraction. People respond differently. Opportunities appear that were once invisible. Decisions become easier because they align with your stronger self-image. Life starts reflecting your inner transformation with a sense of ease and synchrony. The more you become the person you are meant to be, the less you need to chase anything. What belongs to your new level begins to move toward you. You stop trying to force situations, convince others, or push outcomes into existence. Instead, you attract experiences that resonate with your evolved identity. This creates a natural, effortless flow. Your desires no longer feel like distant dreams, but like extensions of who you are becoming. That is the power of attraction, becoming the version of yourself who effortlessly receives the life that once felt out of reach. Presence and stillness create a magnetic energy that draws the right people, moments, and opportunities toward you without effort. When you are constantly worried about the future or stuck replaying the past, your energy becomes scattered and unfocused, making it difficult for anything meaningful to reach you. But when you are fully present, something shifts inside you. Your mind becomes clearer, your emotions settle, and your intuition strengthens. This inner stillness is not emptiness, it is powerful awareness. It is the state where your energy aligns with what you desire, and because of this alignment, attraction becomes natural instead of forced. In stillness, you stop gripping life so tightly. You stop trying to control every detail and instead allow yourself to notice what is already available. Most people miss opportunities not because they don't exist, but because they are too distracted or anxious to recognize them. Presence sharpens your vision, allowing you to see paths forward that were invisible before. When you are still inside, you become receptive. You become open to guidance, inspiration, and direction. Ideas start flowing more easily because the noise in your mind quiets down. Instead of chasing answers, answers find you. Instead of struggling for clarity, clarity appears naturally. This stillness creates an energy that others can feel. People gravitate toward those who carry calm confidence rather than frantic desperation. They trust you more, they enjoy being around you more, and they are more willing to collaborate with you. This creates new connections and new possibilities without you forcing anything. The world responds to inner balance far more quickly than it responds to external effort. When your mind is present, you are able to make better choices. You respond rather than react. You listen rather than rush. You act with intention rather than panic. Each small, mindful choice strengthens your alignment with the life you want. Over time, this alignment builds momentum. It sets a tone for your entire existence. Your days feel smoother because you are not fighting the current of life, you are flowing with it. Even challenges become easier to handle because you are grounded rather than overwhelmed. And the more grounded you become, the more attractive your energy becomes. Stillness does not mean inactivity. It means acting from centered awareness instead of emotional turbulence. It means moving forward with clarity rather than confusion. It means trusting that you don't need constant motion to make progress. Presence creates magnetism because it sends a signal to the universe that you are ready, calm, open, and aligned. You stop chasing outcomes and instead allow them to arrive when the timing is right. This reduces stress and increases synchronicity. Opportunities begin to appear that match the energy you carry. Life becomes smoother and more connected. This is the quiet strength of presence and stillness. They transform you into someone who naturally attracts everything meant for you without strain. The essence of this speech is a reminder that life does not respond to pressure, worry, or desperate chasing. It responds to alignment, presence, and inner transformation. When you shift your focus from running after what you want to becoming the kind of person who naturally receives it, everything begins to feel lighter and more harmonious. You learn to trust the flow of life instead of fighting against it. You discover that letting go of control doesn't weaken you. It strengthens your connection with the opportunities meant for you. By cultivating stillness, self-belief, and emotional clarity, you create an energetic field that draws the right experiences toward you without force. What you seek becomes easier to reach because you are no longer chasing from a place of fear, but attracting from a place of confidence. This approach turns your journey into a partnership with life rather than a battle against it. In the end, the message is simple yet powerful. Elevate your inner world, and your outer world will rise to meet it. When you stop chasing and start aligning, everything you desire begins to find its way to you.